In February of this year, and for the first time in nearly a decade, Google unveiled a newly redesigned logo for Google Chrome. At a first glance, it doesn't look like very much has changed. So I did a little bit of digging to figure out what really went into this redesign. First, the shadows between the sections of the logo have been removed, making the icon appear even more flat than before. You'll also notice the blue circle in the center is slightly larger, and the colors are a bit more saturated. In my view, there wasn't really a need to redesign the Google Chrome logo. As with many Chrome users, I really like the 2014 version. Regardless, this redesign got the wheels turning in my logo designer brain, and I decided to try my hand at a proper redesign of the Google Chrome logo. And that's what today's video is all about. But first, for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Ryan Anding. I am a freelance logo designer and branding enthusiast, here to share with you my thoughts on logo design and a behind-the-scenes view of my process. Okay, so here I am in Adobe Illustrator. I'm just going to be walking you through my process and kind of what went into redesigning the Chrome logo. So I ended up coming up with 3 different variations or versions for this redesign. And for the first one, I essentially started by just recreating the Google Chrome logo from 2014. In my view, that is the strongest version of the Chrome logo, other than the first version anyways. And so I started by recreating that. It really is a very simple logo. It's 3 circles, 3 lines. The 2014 logo also utilizes some shading. Once I had a working copy of this logo, I started to use the shape builder tool just to cut out the different sections of this logo. Now again, my goal was to basically just make a carbon copy of the 2014 logo and kind of take things from there. So what I did was I started to create these different little sections that would be the shadow or the shading between the sections. And what ended up happening is I had the idea to then cut out that space. Instead of making it a shadow, just make it white space. And what I came up with was this wheel style design. It looks sharp, it looks fast, it looks really interesting. And it was a total accident that I stumbled upon this idea, but I kept it. Now, after I had kind of made that mistake and gone down that rabbit hole, I went back to my working copy of the logo. And my initial goal was to just simply create the 2014 logo, but instead of using shadows between the segments, use white space. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just using the shape builder tool to cut out white space in between. What I like about this idea is that it makes the logo more scalable and more versatile. It looks great black or white or with color, as you can see there. Now, the third option for the logo, I wanted to pattern after the original 2008 Google Chrome logo, which you could kind of see there on the left. Now, the goal with this logo was to create 3 sections that felt like they were flowing together, similar to how that 2008 logo looked. Now, the reason that I really like the original Google Chrome logo is it felt fresh and futuristic. There was something fast about it. And that's really what Google Chrome brought to the table as far as internet browsing goes. So I wanted to create a minimal version of that logo that still brought with it that feeling of speed and futurism. So here you can start to see these lines are forming basically segments that are rounded arrows almost. Now, due to some time constraints, I did eyeball some of the spacing between these lines. If this were a client project, I would definitely take the time to make sure that the spacing here was exact. I think I did an okay job here though, and as I start using the shape builder to cut out these different sections, you'll see this really come together. One thing you'll notice as well is I'm still keeping white space between each of the segments, rather than using shading or rather than just stacking the colors directly against themselves. I feel like this creates, again, an ability to make the logo versatile. This logo can be any color that Google wants it to be, can scale to any size, and they don't have to worry about those colors competing for attention. And so basically I'll just use the same colors that I've been using the whole time, all the black and white version, and then the colors with the official Google color palette. So here is the V1 of the redesign. It just utilizes white space between the sections, but this is basically a carbon copy of the 2014 Chrome logo. Here it is mocked up on their website. In the App Store, when you're going to go download the app, as you can see, it really scales down small really well. This is V2. This is that one that uses white space instead of shading. This white space is more pointed, and it is somewhat limited, and when this scales down, you can kind of see that white space gets lost a little bit. But I like that this logo feels like a pinwheel, like it's spinning. And then here is V3. This is patterned after the 2008 Chrome logo. This was my personal favorite, and this was one of my initial ideas coming into this redesign. I really love the minimal futurism that we're achieving here. It feels fast, it feels fresh, and I love that. Okay, so here are all three versions of the logo that I redesigned side by side. Drop a comment below which version you like best. And make sure before you leave to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content just like this.